April 1774. The British Empire stands proud.
Act of parliamentary tyranny. 4,000 British troops marched into Massachusetts. The port of Boston was slammed shut. The governor was replaced with a hard-edged general. And local assemblies suddenly found themselves about as powerful as a damp tea bag. In Virginia, the House of Burgesses declares its support for Massachusetts and is promptly shut down by the royal governor, Lord Dunmore. So Virginians reconvene in their own assemblies and once more call for their rights under the British Constitution to be upheld. In Fairfax County, the meeting was led by none other than George Washington, who had evolved from frontier officer to political heavyweight. And now, colonists were done being subtle. 10 years earlier, they hesitated to question Parliament's authority. Now they declared openly, if Americans are not represented in Parliament, then only American assemblies have the right to make laws for Americans. A bold claim, one Britain could not ignore.
Virginian patriots call for a Congress composed of delegates from the colonies to meet and discuss a collective response to the latest crisis. Such calls are echoed across the colonies. In October 1774, the First Continental Congress meets in Carpenter's Hall, Philadelphia. It is attended by 52 delegates from 12 of the 13 colonies. Some were fiery radicals, others cautious moderates, and a few simply wondered how they had ended up involved in the possible breakup of an empire before lunchtime. John and Samuel Adams arrived, determined to push back against British authority. Patrick Henry entered the room, convinced independence was inevitable, years before most colonies dared whisper the word. And standing across from them, John Dickinson tried to preserve what remained of harmony with Britain, preferably without starting a war. Despite their divisions, a compromise is reached. The colonies agree to boycott all British goods until the intolerable acts are repealed. They will also send another petition to King George III, listing their grievances while expressing continued loyalty and desire for reconciliation.
We ask but for peace, liberty, and safety. Your royal authority over us and our connection with Great Britain, we shall always carefully and zealously endeavor to support and maintain.
Their petition received no official reply. But something far more important had happened. the colonies discovered that they could come together, argue fiercely, and still craft a coherent plan. It was messy, loud, occasionally absurd, but it worked. And for the first time, many began to suspect that if the need arose, these 13 mismatched colonies might actually stand together, not as subjects, but as a united people.
In America, the long history of colonial and frontier wars means most British colonies maintain their own militia. Massachusetts in 1774, a colony where every town had its own part-time soldiers, trained by local captains who sometimes took their job a little too seriously. And across the bay, General Thomas Gage is staring at Boston with the expression of a man who just realized he's sitting on a barrel of gunpowder. Literally. Gage commands 4,000 British troops, but he worries more about the other gunpowder, the huge stores scattered across Massachusetts. If the colonists grab it, trouble explodes. If he grabs it, trouble also explodes. Fun times. So in September 1774, Gage quietly sends 260 redcoats to secure a powder magazine in Suffolk County. In such a suspicious atmosphere, the sight of British redcoats on the march ignites wild rumors that villages are being attacked, civilians massacred, and that British warships are shelling Boston. None of it is true, but thousands of furious patriots swarm into Cambridge anyway, while loyalists sprint the opposite direction straight into Boston. The patriots disperse the next day, but both sides are rattled by the incident. That winter, General Gage pulls his forces back within Boston and begins to fortify approaches to the city. He also requests reinforcements from Britain. Parliament delays, the British army is tiny, and sending troops to America is expensive. Meanwhile, colonial resistance grows louder every month. And by February, Parliament throws up its hands and officially declares that parts of Massachusetts are in open rebellion. A spark hasn't started the war yet, but the fuse is definitely lit. On the 23rd of March 1775, Patrick Henry addresses the Virginia Convention.
If we were base enough to desire it, it is now too late to retire from the contest. There is no retreat but in submission and slavery. Our chains are forged. Their clanking may be heard on the plains of Boston. The war is inevitable, and let it come. I repeat it, sir, let it come. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death.